Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. We are tracking a powerful winter storm that is getting ready to rapidly develop and bonify across Montana and the Dakotas. This will bring 60 to 70 mile an hour damaging wind gusts across the high plains and the northern plains, including the Great Lakes, over the next couple of days, along to go with the risk of heavy snowfall and some freezing precipitation as well. So in this video, we'll be breaking down all those details on how much snowfall will you get and how long will it last. So to start things off, here's a current look at the satellite imagery across the lower 48 of the United States for your Tuesday morning here on the 9th day of December. Look at all the stormy weather happening across Oregon and Washington. This is where there is significant flooding, perhaps catastrophic. We're looking at a lot of landslides, rock slides, very heavy snowfall and avalanche danger for the higher elevations. And this same storm system, people, that is coming from the Pacific Northwest will redevelop significantly, and it's already in the process of doing so this morning across British Columbia and Alberta, Canada. And this is that storm system will generate some damaging winds that exceed 70 miles per hour, blizzard conditions, heavy snowfall across this region, and some of that heavy snowfall will impact the Great Lakes in the next 24 to 48 hours. So a very active weather pattern is in place right now across the Pacific Northwest and the northern tier. We can clearly see this when we take a look at the latest National Weather Service weather alerts and advisories here. Boy, oh boy, there's a lot of wind products up here, especially over Montana and the Dakotas. We are talking about wind gusts, folks, that will range between 60 to 70 miles per hour with isolated wind gusts, and the favored gaps and passes could exceed 90 miles per hour with this weather system as it moves into the plains. And then, of course, on the front side of this system, you're looking at a lot of heavy snowfall where winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings are issued, with winter storm watches down here in portions of Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, and southeastern South Dakota. And then, of course, winter weather advisories extend into Pennsylvania from that same system. But it's really going to be bad up here across the northern tier today into the day tomorrow because of how strong those winds are going to be. So with that being said, let's take a look here at our high-resolution meso model here. This is the NAM 30-kilometer forecast, and I really like using this because it really indicates how the storm system is going to develop over the next 12 to 18 hours here. And as we go over the next 8 hours here, this is, by the way, for your Tuesday on the 9th day of December. And this is about 8 in the morning Central Standard Time. And we are looking at some heavy rainfall here, of course, across portions of the Dakotas, because that warmer air, that air sinks, warms, and dries somewhat. And you don't get snow with this one. However, areas to the north where this snow shield moves to the southeast, that's where you're going to be seeing most of this. But instead, we'll get to the wind here in just a little bit. But this is going to be one heck of a wind producer storm system instead for areas pretty much to the southwest and the south of the surface low, and even to the west and the northwest of it. And this is where the snow is going to be really heavy, especially by Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. All this blue on your screen over Minnesota really denotes where the snow is going to be really heavy. And anything in between here, that's a little bit of freezing rain and ice accumulation that we'll be looking into here on the National Blend of Models here in just a little bit. That same system is going to be moving and maybe strengthening up a little bit down to 989 millibars over Minnesota as well as Wisconsin. Take note of the dark blue colors. That's moderate to heavy snowfall for late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, okay? So for your morning commute, could be pretty dicey. Also some really strong winds associated with this. And then that surface low moves pretty quickly into Michigan here by the early wee morning hours of Wednesday, the 10th day of December, with a 985 millibar. And these tightly packed isobars really denote how strong the winds are going to be with this system. And of course, some moderate to heavy snowfall will be moving into the Great Lakes, into the Northeast as we go into Wednesday night into Thursday morning here. And this one could generate a lot of snowfall, as you can see. Okay, so please be safe, folks, when you're traveling, because this storm system will have a lot of oomph with it, a lot of energy to work with for it to deepen, and that is a powerful Alberta Clipper. So now let's talk about who's going to see the most snowfall with this Alberta Clipper type system, and we're going to go from west to east because the system is moving from west to east. So, of course, for the Cascade Range here, for that system that's currently going on, you're looking at an additional couple of feet of snowfall for the higher elevations. This is going to be a warm storm system, so don't expect snow at your hometown in Seattle or Arlington or Vancouver, which are near sea level. Vancouver, Canada, that is. But look at this, higher elevations here over the northern Rocky Mountains here in Alberta, Canada. You're looking at about 2 to 3 feet of snowfall because of orographic effects that really forces out and squeezes moisture out. But then that same surface low redevelops and moves pretty much to the southeast. So areas like, say, northeastern North Dakota, you might see about 4 to 5 inches. And by the way, this is from the NBM forecast, the national blend of models that I like to use. This is what the National Weather Service uses. And just for those that are new, when it comes to tracking a big storm like this, there's a little bit of uncertainty between high-res models. We like to kind of average things out, and we like to be more conservative here in these videos. So that's why I will tend to use the national blend of models. It's an average of all these models put together to make a super ensemble. And right now, we're looking at anywhere between about 2 to 4 inches of snow here in central northern Minnesota. And then when you get down here into Wisconsin, this is where you see a little bit more like maybe 4 to maybe 5 inches, maybe about a little lesser than that, but you get the idea, lots of snow. And then central northern Michigan, more like maybe 4 to 7 inches of snow at the very most. Again, don't be surprised if this trends a little bit further south, but you're pretty much, if you're in northern watching this from northern Michigan, you're looking at a lot of snow here. And then, of course, any lake effect snow, like Watertown, you might get about 8 inches of snowfall over the course of the next 53 hours. All right, so that's a look at the super blend, the NBM forecast, and of course, the Rockies here getting a little bit of snow. So how much ice? Yeah, ice is going to be a little bit of a problem with this system because, of course, when you get a little bit of warmer air moving over colder air, that pretty much yields some icy conditions. So this model from the National Blend of Models, again, right up here, National Blend of Models, you can see here in basically North Dakota, anywhere between about 2/100 of an inch to maybe 3/100 of an inch. Now this is pumping out almost 1/10 of an inch. I think this is a little too high in my opinion. I think we're going to see a little bit lesser of that, but still, any little ice there is that accumulates in this general area, you'll see there could be some spin outs because the wind could kind of drag your car across the road a little bit because there's not much grip with your tires on the road surface. So keep that in mind here with strong winds, icy conditions. Really going to just be very dangerous to be on the roadways for the next couple of days as this storm system moves through. And then maybe some minor ice amounts down here, but really nothing concerning there. About 1/100 of an inch or less. But that could get some glazing on the surfaces and cause some minor disruptions. So now, the big story with this storm system is going to be the wind. The wind is going to be the biggest story of this storm system because of how energetic it is. It has a lot of upper level jet stream dynamics to work with. So this is going to bring with it some pretty ferocious winds, especially for the higher elevations here on the National Blend of Model. I'm squeezing out 61. We got a 83 mile an hour wind gust here in portions of Montana for the higher terrain here. So this would be really bad. This would bring down a lot of trees and power lines. And this continues to escalate with further as you go further east into the Dakotas. And this would be, let's see what the time frame of this is. This would be for Tuesday morning. And so we're looking at wind gusts here between about 50 to 60 miles an hour. Some areas here could locally see gusts over 60, miles an hour. But of course, this is a ensemble, and we want to kind of be conservative with this kind of thing. But if we were to take a look here at let's go to the NAM model. Let's go to the NAM. So the NAM here is showing pretty much the same thing. You can see here 53, 54 mile an hour wind gusts, enough to bring down trees and power lines. Very windy here, also in the in the upper Midwest, like Indiana. Kokomo, Indiana could get gusts over 50 miles an hour. Indianapolis, 46, 36 in Columbus, Ohio. Increasing to 50 miles an hour by Wednesday early morning. So don't be surprised if you're woken up to fallen trees, power lines, your power goes out for a while because of how strong this wind is going to be. And that goes into the northeast where winds don't look to be as strong there, between about 35 to 45 miles an hour, but enough to cause some problems there. And then it looks like the winds will go flat after that. So now with that being said, I really do briefly want to talk about the temperatures because yes, behind this system, very cold temperatures are going to settle in. And when I mean they settle in, it is going to get dangerously cold. And I don't say that very lightly. We're talking some of the coldest temperatures for the month of December in a long time, at least that I could remember, in portions of the Dakotas and Minnesota. Now, I don't think this is going to get down to the coldest temperatures that you'll ever see for the winter season. No, this for a month standpoint. So most Decembers tend to be warmer up here in the high plains. Like last year, it was really warm. The year before, it was really warm. Not this December. This is going to be a cold one this go around. And look how cold it's going to get. Yeah, I'm not trying to laugh, but oh my gosh, these are really bad cold temperatures. Alberta, Canada, British Columbia. Yeah, if you really think -8's cold in North Dakota, go up here to British Columbia and Alberta, Canada. -40 degrees. Yeah, -40. That's very cold. And then by Saturday or by Friday night into Saturday, yeah, this is not good at all. -24 degrees below zero. These are not wind chills, people. Not wind chills. These are actual air temperature readings. Chicago, 1 degree to wake up for Saturday morning. This is extremely dangerous. And then it's colder. Yeah, how about this? Welcome 0 degrees or 1 degree in Kokomo, Indiana, Indianapolis, there, Chicago, -10, Springfield, Illinois, -2, and then look it up here. I mean, this is really, really brutal. -22, -30 degrees, and that would be for Sunday morning. So really brace yourself really for Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and then probably even Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning for sure. Going to be even colder down here in Indiana, Ohio, and eventually going into the Northeast. And it looks like that's going to last probably through Tuesday morning. So we got 4 days coming up with this very cold, chilly air coming out of Canada. And then things look like they should moderate a lot more after that. Welcome back 50s, hopefully. If the European actually is correct, that would be a welcoming sight to see after that cold air mass moves through. Yeah, it's definitely going to be record shattering for sure, but all-time records definitely on the table. Will it be the worst that you have ever seen any given time of the year? No, it's not going to be that bad. I think the worst it's ever been, I have seen it in Minnesota, was like -40 degrees, -45. No, we're not going to get that low, but still, this is pretty brutal down here in the upper Midwest of the Great Lakes. Now, just for your information, folks, because I love you with my dear heart, wanted to show you all the wind chill values because when you factor in the wind, it will feel colder than it really feels out there. So we can see here in Minnesota this is Friday morning. Yeah, it feels like -34, and then it gets even colder. Look at this. It feels like -35 in some areas, maybe even pushing -40, that it feels like in portions of Minnesota and then into Wisconsin. And then, yeah, look at this. Sunday morning, this is ridiculous. It feels like -43 in some rural spots. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is bad. This is really serious. And it feels like negative 30 degrees in Indiana. In Chicago, might feel like negative 30. That's brutal. And that will last at least through Tuesday next week before things moderate a little bit. But anyways, if you did find this weather forecast very helpful, detailed, informative, and life-saving, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, folks. If you haven't already, hit that bell notification icon to get daily early morning updates here every day at 3 or 3:30 in the morning, unless something really historically happens. Then we'll make these videos much earlier, like around 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, but sticking to 3 o'clock otherwise, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you haven't been here before, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll be back with you more for Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, that is, for the 3 o'clock update in the morning.